Let me be very clear today. Racism is a grave sin, and Christians like us must strongly stand against it. The Irish bishop said recently, even if a crowd is shouting racist chants, we Christians, we stand for the truth that God's love is not restricted to the holders of any particular passports. We are all equal in God's eyes.
Home to more than 50,000 people, South Haven, Mississippi is a quiet suburb. That is, residents say, until Elon Musk's AI power plant came to town. For months now, this is the sound communities near the plant hear. All day and night.
It sounds like jets are taking off and they never take off.
Coming from dozens of methane turbines sent to power Elon Musk's AI data center. That's the power plant, and we're getting a decibel reading here in the low 60s. That's about as loud as a dishwasher running 24/7 just steps from that house. And it's not just a concern over noise, but air pollution too. Nonprofit newsroom Floodlight published this thermal drone footage, which they say shows the gas burning at the facility. The Environmental Protection Agency has said gas turbines are a major source of hazardous air pollutants, including formaldehyde and other probable human carcinogens.
I have severe asthma, and sometimes I can smell the pollution in the air, and I don't want to be exposed to that and cause more damage to myself.
So Elon Musk is now officially a trillionaire, y'all. And my takeaway from that is that humanity has objectively failed miserably. I actually was naive enough to think that the first time I heard the word trillionaire, I was naive enough to think like, oh, we'll never be that stupid and that self-destructive and that crazy to allow anybody to amass that much wealth. Because obviously that gives somebody way too much power, way too much wealth, way too much control, way too much power. And like, it just can't. We won't do that. Well, not only do we allow it to happen, it fucking happened with a whimper. I didn't see much pushback at all. The media didn't talk about it in the way that they should be talking about it, that this is motherfucking egregious and should never be allowed. And here we are. So, first off, let me just say this. Do yourself a big favor, y'all. Go to YouTube, type in Elon Musk More Perfect Union, and they've done a number of phenomenal breakdowns about this guy. This ultimate fucking fraud, scam artist, ketamine-addicted Nazi prick. They have a great piece on exactly what happened to get him to this point, and that one's titled, "We Uncovered a Hidden Wealth Transfer in the SpaceX IPO. You're holding the bag." So what they explain in there is the money that's in a bunch of people's retirement accounts, in index funds, right? They put the money in there, you don't think anything of it, and they're supposed to do like relatively safe investments in companies that are proven, but they change the rules to allow in a completely and utterly unproven company and allow Elon Musk to, right off the bat, be included in those index funds. So regular people end up paying a ridiculous price to buy stock in SpaceX to pump up the value to make him a trillionaire effectively. So they actively change the rules to make working class regular people hold the bag and make Elon a trillionaire. So go watch the whole thing. It's only 12 minutes long, but it explains it all in perfect detail. And you'll see how this is yet another example of the Epstein-class billionaires literally rigging the system.
Sometimes the most shocking corporate misconduct is hidden in plain sight, invisible to the naked eye.
What is happening here will swallow our world if we don't stop it right here, right now.
Looking back, there was an early clue that the world's richest man was up to something here.
It's just like, why is Elon Musk coming to Memphis?
The people of Memphis soon found out.
Now Elon Musk is coming to Memphis to build the world's largest supercomputer.
A year later,
we here because we mean business.
People here want answers.
It's the job of the health department to protect our lungs, and not once have they went to XAI to see that they had 35 gas turbines operating and polluting our air.
We went to Memphis and found an environmental crime scene. Musk's data center burning enough methane to power a small city with no permits and no pollution controls.
I have not seen anything like this. We believe they've already violated the Clean Air Act.
As Musk helps dismantle the very federal agency that's supposed to protect us against pollution like this,
There is no way to miss how this is a coordinated strategy.
what does Memphis reveal about the future Elon Musk wants for us all?
So the mission of XAI and Grok is to understand the universe.
In 2023, Musk founded XAI to produce and sell artificial intelligence.
We want to understand the nature of the universe so we can figure out where are the aliens, what's the meaning of life, how does the universe end.
Its main product is Grok, an AI chatbot that he's incorporated into Twitter, or X. Musk was entering the race to dominate the AI market, but he was arriving late, years after competitors like OpenAI and Google had begun training their AI systems. So in Musk's mind, he had to move fast.
We went to the data center providers and said how long would it take to have 100,000 GPUs operating coherently in a single location, and we got time frames from 18 to 24 months. So we're like, well, 18 to 24 months, that means losing is a certainty. So the only option was to do it ourselves.
Been waiting for this moment. I am pleased to announce that XAI's Gigafactory of Compute, the world's largest supercomputer, is to be located in Memphis, Tennessee.
Musk dubbed the project Colossus, after a movie about a supercomputer that becomes sentient and assumes total control of the world.
And so, my fellow human beings, we all directly and indirectly live in the shade, but not the shadow of Colossus.
When you think about the computational power that it will take to put humans on the surface of Mars, that's going to come from the Gigafactory of Compute that calls Memphis home. We were told that by the company. And so it required speed and power.
It's announced as a done deal.
Keyshawn Pearson grew up in South Memphis.
A billionaire and his organization is coming to our city, and we're just finding out after the land has been purchased, after the project has been approved by certain officials, right, who did know.
This is huge. This puts the word out there that Memphis understands operating at the speed of business.
As a community, we're trying to reach out to people and understand what is XAI. He built it without us even knowing that it was being built.
We had to watch this over X or Twitter. Brent Mayo, Elon Musk would tweet often about where they were in the progress, how fast things were moving.
To train an AI system, a data center requires an enormous amount of electricity. The question was, where would the power come from?
Most companies, when they come to the city of Memphis, they plug into our power grid. That's what you think would happen. Why would this be any different? Unfortunately, we learned because it is a billionaire's corporation, it would be a lot different.
XAI made a deal with the local electric company for 150 megawatts of power and agreed to build a new substation to help meet that demand. But Musk's ambitious plans suggested he would need much more power than that, and fast. Soon, people started to notice some unusual structures outside the facility.
I drove out there, and the first thing I did was hear the turbines. You can smell it as well. Such a disturbingly unique smell.
From the road, Keyshawn and others could see a row of machines that are typically only used for remote or emergency operations. Mobile gas turbines.
I have never seen portable turbines used like this.
Patrick Anderson works on air quality cases for the Southern Environmental Law Center.
We know that these kinds of generators require air permits. And so right off the bat, we started filing records requests with the local Shelby County Health Department. Do you have an air permit application from XAI? And they came back and basically said, no, we have nothing to hand over. We also filed records requests with EPA to see what they had. They also did not have details on what is on the ground out there. Nobody from the regulatory side, the health department, the city, EPA, has told the public or us really one iota of what's actually operating out there.
To figure that out, Patrick and his team hired a photographer to capture the data center from above. The images revealed far more turbines than anyone knew about. 35.
I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely stunned. How do we not know about this?
According to XAI leadership, the turbines are not being used and are not connected.
Under pressure, XAI claimed it was using less than half of those turbines.
I've talked to the XAI leadership team. There are 35, but there are only 15 that are on. The other ones are stored on the site.
Well, first off, these are expensive. There's a turbine shortage nationally. You don't obtain these turbines and put them on site if you're not intending to operate them.
So Patrick and his team sent the photographer back out with a high-end thermal camera.
What we saw is 33 of the 35 were very clearly operating.
The turbines were capable of generating about 420 megawatts of electricity, enough to power around 300,000 homes.
They've built a power plant out there. And they've done it overnight, no air pollution controls, quick and dirty, no permit.
I mean, what you've done with the cluster in Memphis is incredible. Just in a handful of weeks.
Any given thing can be sped up.
Yeah.
Like whatever the speed is being done, it can be done faster.
This is the largest AI cluster in the world. This place is absolutely amazing.
That is like superhuman. I mean, Elon is singular. Building a massive factory in the short time that was done, there's only one person in the world who could do that.
And this entire supercomputer is built to power Grok.
We were given a tour at XAI, looking at the facility, very impressive, very exciting for Memphis. Their commitment to the community is remarkable.
It's unique in my experience.
Joseph Goffman has worked on air pollution issues for decades. Until January, he ran the EPA office that regulates air quality.
Most companies that I've dealt with go to great lengths and spend a lot of money to make sure that the day they turn on their operations, they're also turning on their pollution control equipment. That's a given. For a company to do this, it's treating the people who live there as if they don't count.
I like to open my windows early in the morning to breathe the fresh air, God's given air, not the air that man want to give us, but God.
Easter Knox lives just over a mile from XAI.
I really wasn't getting the fresh air. I was getting that pollution that was mixed in with everything.
You know how you light your stove and that gas seeps with the little ticking noise? That's what it smelled like.
Alexis Humphreys grew up here, one street away from Easter.
When I smelled it the first time, I was asleep. And it woke me up because I thought gas was seeping in the house, but come to find out, we come outside and all the neighbors was outside trying to figure out what's going on.
He was an ordinary dad, full of joy, full of jokes.
Last year, Alexis lost her grandfather, who struggled with a respiratory illness called chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD.
COPD is a breathing condition, but you don't get it unless you smoke cigarettes. And my granddad didn't smoke cigarettes, but every 3 weeks or so, my granddad was going to the hospital. He would have to get breathing treatments. I have asthma, bronchitis. My mom have just bronchitis, and now my granny has it.
You can't hardly breathe. It's just like your whole world is collapsing down on you, and it's frightening.
Easter and her husband have also developed COPD.
What does it feel like?
Feel like you're fixing to die.
The area around XAI leads the state in emergency department visits for asthma. Memphis has one of the highest rates of toxic air releases of any American city, and many of its most polluting facilities are in this neighborhood.
Elon, what he did with Memphis is objectively somewhat dirty, but he's also doing it in an area where there's like a bigger natural gas plant right next door and like a wastewater treatment and a garbage dump nearby, right? And he's obviously made the world a lot more clean than that one data center.
In just 1 year, XAI has blown past existing polluters.
They're emitting somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 tons of NOx. I'm an air pollution guy, so I deal in those numbers all the time, and that's larger than anything else in Memphis.
Gas turbines like these release 3 main types of deadly pollution: nitrogen oxides, formaldehyde, and fine particulate matter. Nitrogen oxides combine with other pollutants to form ground-level ozone, which causes and worsens asthma and COPD. Formaldehyde causes cancer, and particulate matter, airborne soot, can pass through your lungs and into your bloodstream, causing heart disease.
We've shown up today because we've been to too many funerals. We've shown up today because we've cried too many tears. We've shown up here today because we're tired. And we have an expectation of the people that we elect and put into place. We expect them to do what is in our best interest. Not of Elon Musk. And what we're saying is that stops now.
In April, hundreds of people came to a high school in South Memphis to talk about XAI.
Welcome to the new generation of environmental justice. Stop being a coward and say no to this permit today. Get a backbone, because in Memphis we don't bluff. Period.
In January, the company belatedly applied for a permit to operate 15 of its turbines for 5 years.
That's the first time that XAI has publicly addressed the community in any way.
I understand people did not want to hear the statement, but again, XAI is committed to meeting the highest standard for emissions. XAI is going above and beyond the required emission control required into that. Thank you very much for your time.
He immediately left after reading his script. It's extremely disrespectful.
It's time to start telling the truth. The truth is that XAI, who just ran up out of here, they have no controls that prevent air pollution or decrease air pollution in their factories. None. That's the truth.
To date, local and state authorities have taken no action against XAI. Running turbines without permits or pollution controls is also a violation of the Clean Air Act, which it's the EPA's job to enforce. But to date, the EPA has done nothing, and Elon Musk is doing what he can to keep it that way. Musk has helped the Trump administration place strict limits on the EPA's budget as part of President Trump's broader project to radically reshape the agency. Trump's EPA has begun what it calls the biggest deregulatory action in U.S. history.
To fulfill President Trump's promise to unleash American energy and give power back to the states.
It eliminated the EPA's office that assists heavily polluted communities like South Memphis and canceled billions of dollars of funding for addressing pollution.
So you've slashed already $22 billion in grants, but you used Doge, if I'm not mistaken, to take down your head count?
It's been great. The people working on the Doge mission are EPA employees. What they provide to me are recommendations. I have found that working with Elon and Doge has been fantastic, a big help to our efforts.
In March, the EPA announced plans to roll back over 30 air and water quality standards, including protections against fine particulate matter. The new head of the agency describes promoting the AI industry as a core part of the EPA's mission.
It's about unleashing energy dominance, making America the AI capital of the world. And the EPA can't be restrictive of that. We can't be suffocating it.
Making America the world's AI capital means prioritizing a massive expansion of data centers, and hundreds of them are now under construction.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Levi.
With Trump's EPA backing that effort, there may be little recourse for the communities downwind.
XAI comes from a culture of Silicon Valley. That culture is go fast and break stuff. Break them.
A week after this hearing, XAI announced it would reduce the number of turbines it's running at Colossus over the next 2 months, but it's also dramatically expanding.
I'm happy to announce that XAI is increasing their footprint.
It's building a second larger data center.
Oh yeah, we've already started work on the next cluster. Yeah, about 5 times the power.
Where its construction permit application indicates it's considering using between 40 and 90 gas turbines and enough electricity to power 40% of Memphis.
So we're not like stopping here.
In February, during an XAI product launch, Elon Musk gave the closest thing to a public explanation for what he's done in Memphis.
Well, we needed a building, so we found an Electrolux factory in Memphis. That's why it's in Memphis, home of Elvis. And also, I think it was the capital of ancient Egypt. Then we needed power, at least 120 megawatts at first, but the building only had 15 megawatts. So we initially leased a whole bunch of generators. So we have generators on one side of the building, trailer after trailer of generators, until we could get the utility power to come in. You know, it's like interesting, it's not like, oh, we just magically made it happen. You have to break down the problem just like Grok does for reasoning.
XAI did not respond to questions for this report.
What's happening in Memphis, that is Elon's vision.
Mr. President, all systems are activated.
Congratulations, Dr. Foreman. It's a marvelous achievement.
Thank you.
A technocracy, to be able to do whatever he wants, whatever he chooses, to experiment, to kill, to destroy the environment at the behest of his machines. What that will amount to is a plantation economy for the rest of the world. A desolate wasteland of data centers is to follow.
How many of you all know that Elon Musk had a plant down there in Louisiana? I'm reading right now from the Southern Environmental Law Center, where the headline here, this is from this summer in June, says Elon Musk's AI facility is using gas turbines in South Memphis. We're taking action. It says here in South Memphis, a community already struggling with the legacy of environmental injustice and industrial pollution. A company founded by Elon Musk is running unpermitted gas turbines that threaten to make air pollution problems even worse. Since breaking ground on its supercomputer facility last year, XAI has been operating dozens of unpermitted methane gas turbines without public notice, permits, or air pollution controls. These turbines emit dangerous chemicals like formaldehyde and smog-forming pollution. These pollutants can cause rates of asthma, heart disease, and cancer. That's devastating. Today, we sent the company a formal notice, is what I want you to hear, on behalf of the NAACP. Stop polluting gas turbines or we'll see you in federal court. Family, it goes on to talk about, I'm skipping here, this part I want you to hear. Memphis has long struggled, it says, with poor air quality. The area is already failing to meet federal standards for smog, and again received an F from the American Lung Association for ozone pollution in 2025. Now, family, how many of you all know that these areas, that area in particular, has a whole lot of Black folks and a whole lot of melanin there? And folks have been speculating why this white South African migrant who's got this suspect past, bunch of baby mamas and stuff, and a bunch of suspect connections with the Trump administration and a whole bunch of other little weird, anti-Black weird stuff he got going on. What in the world is he doing building this plant down south in Memphis? And a lot of folks have been speculating over the past couple of months that he's doing it because Black folks are there and they know they can get away with these sorts of murderous types of industrial behaviors. That's what the streets are saying.
Why haven't we heard about that as we hear about when it happens everywhere else, right? We know why. Because it's in Black neighborhoods, and oftentimes, as I said, they allow different people to build purposely in Black neighborhoods. Now, you might be wondering, who is this they? Oftentimes, it's the city council, right? The city planning committee. They allow these so-called corporations or whatever it is to say, hey, there's a land over there, and we'd like to have it. Now, of course, the residents might be saying, you talking about the land where we live? You want to build a trash plant or whatever it is, a dump site, I guess that's what it is here, or a chemical plant here, or even if it's a farm, right, where I think it's in North Carolina, it's a pig farm where they spray the feces, right, of the pig. They call it manure, right, this nasty water. They spray it to fertilize the whatever it is, right? But then that water goes into the Black neighborhoods and they can smell it. Now, you know what that smells like, right? And they say they smell it all the time. And a lot of those people in those neighborhoods say, yeah, cancer is a thing here. I wonder why, right? So they're allowed to build those things in the Black communities. But again, you didn't hear about that, did you? You didn't probably hear about it until I told you about that explosion that happened. Again, now if it was white neighborhood or whatever, you hear all about it, or an Asian neighborhood. But Black people, they don't care as much. And it's also said that the Trump administration is rolling back a lot of the environmental protections that were going to be helping the black neighborhoods alleviate some of the things that's going on there. And now it sounds like any and everybody who wants to go put poison, if you will, in those neighborhoods, yeah, they got a free ticket to go do that because they're rolling back a lot of those protections. So I thought that you should know that yet again, another black neighborhood again there in Roseland, Louisiana, has been impacted even more, right? Even more by companies that just don't give a damn.
Elon Musk is a disgusting criminal, and he should be in prison. There's no way around it. There's no gray area. It's very black and white.